lead foil. It's got adhesive in the back, it's sticky on the back. What you do is you cut like a 2mm length from the tape itself, and then remove the backing. This can just add a tad bit of weight. Now you can fish this without weight as well as obviously with. Now when you build up the body, because it's sticky it sits to the hook. It goes on the hook no problem, it just winds up. Now you can have a single layer again, or a double layer. What I'm going to do is to help encourage the shape of the fly, I'm going to put a taper in it. I'm going to put some more lead on, probably a turn and a half up from where I started. Work my way up. Look at the thorax length, there's your body length there, and there's your thorax. Now I want it to taper up and then taper slightly back towards the eye. Now the hook I'm using is a Flou-Yellow, and it's the super heavyweight. Now this is a size 8, so it's quite to the bigger size, but at least it will show you what the fly looks like. Now thread I'm using is UTC in dark brown and 70, which is the finer. There is a 140 which is slightly heavier. Now what I'm going to do here is catch it on the thorax length and then remove the base piece. Now for the back, the cover of the fly, or the thorax, and the abdomen cover, I'm going to be using this Scud brown, or Scud bat. It's in brown, it's a small. You can buy these in different thicknesses. This is a small one I'm using. Now in the way round I'm going to tie this in. Just catch it on the top, and as I wind round I'm going to stretch, take it all the way around till I get to the bare hook, and then come back up nice and tight. For the body I'm going to be using this material here. It's called sparkle yarn. It's a case that says 4-ply yarn from it's a Gary LaFontaine Antron patterns, and this one here is the yellow I'm going to be using. Now what I do is, you've got, as I say, it's in 4 strands. You can remove or open out the wool and remove one of the strands. Now for a fly this size you'll need about 6 inches length to complete the fly. Now what I like to do is catch it on the way back down. Just simply catch it on the side, take it down right to the bottom, and bring the thread back up nice and tight, and then slightly open the wool out. Just what I do, the first turn I'll get my nail in and spread the fibres to make sure I've got a taper so it's nice and tight. Then I bring Scud material over the back and do a single turn on top, always nice and tight. Then come in and then slightly pull it back and get a good turn right in close. Then another one. Then you keep repeating this all the way up, forming the back of the abdomen. Again, always keeping it nice and tight. Pull it back, do another good turn right in close. Then another one. Then back over. And again, just pull it back. Now, when you're tying the smaller ones, just stretch it a wee bit more. Make it a bit thinner. In this size, just keep it at its normal thickness. And again, all the way up. Looks a bit fiddly, but it's not really. Once you get used to it, it's easy enough. Yeah, and a couple of turns here. Back over. Just take your time. A couple of turns in here. Screw it down. Leave this is going to be part of the thorax. Trim away the excess. Thread down and come back up. Now I'm going to slightly come over the actual wool itself. Now as you can look, the effect you get with that, I mean, it makes a great body. And the segmented effect you get is when the abdomen is stretched out. You can see the colour, it's very distinct and it comes through. Now for the legs, I'm going to use basically these are CDC puffs. And I take one of these, this is a yellow. You can see the fine fibres. I'm going to use them as the legs. Now you could wind them on, or what I like to do is just basically get a needle. UTC thread flattens very well, and it means you can split it. So you put your needle in, run it down, you only need a couple of inches or so. Then get your CDC puff, and then really what I do is remove the fine fibres from either side. They're going to form the legs. I'm going to form a hackle using the CDC. Now if you get the length, look at the length you would like. And what I do here is just trim away the ends. You want for the fibre length just to the back of the fly. Now doing it this way, what will happen is that you'll have a taper in the fibre. And that's what you're looking for. Now to make the thread flat, really what you do is that you anti-clockwise open the fibre or the thread out. But to tighten it back up, you spin your bobbin holder clockwise, which will tighten the thread back up. And it's just a matter of then coming up, pulling it nice and tight. Make sure you've got this really tight before you start to wind. And really all you'll get is like a turn or so. That's all we need. Tie it in. Nice and tight. Bring the thread back up. See how it's sitting, how it's looking. At this point you can get a piece of Velcro and really bring this down either side. Then some natural pheasant tail fibres. Now you're looking for maybe around about 10 fibres caught on either side and at the bottom. Scoffer it to the side with the tips and then down the way. Remove these. Now once you've tied in the pheasant tail on this side, now get some more for the other side. Just take it, tear off again, about 10 fibres will do it. This time you can actually trim it before you tie it in, it saves a wee bit of time. Just get it on the side and slightly down. Nice and tight. These are for the wing buds. Just a wee tad long, so I'm going to trim it. See how they're sitting at this point. Now you can actually come in and take your thread right up tight against it and against the CDC to make sure you've got your no spaces or anything. Now the dubbin, what the dubbin is a fiery brown seal's fur and a material called wing and flash. This is yellow, it's got a yellow pearl, and what I do is I mix both the fiery brown and that together. You get this nice colour. All you have to do then is put some dubbin on, just dub it onto your thread, and then make sure this first one is nice and tight, close. Let's have a wee quick look, that's okay. And then start to taper towards the eye. Just bring it over, right down. Now leave a space about maybe 2 mil or so from the eye. But what I would do just now is slightly tidy up. Then bring in pheasant tail on my side. And then really what I'm doing here is pushing it towards the back and down. And then I'm going to tie it on the side. This is forming the wing buds itself. And you can end up with sort of like a space like this. You end up, just you need to fold it a wee bit. And you'll see it on this side. Now when you fold it, you've got to get the same length. Look at the length you've got there, and again, tie it slightly on the top. Just come in, you've got to flatten them. This just gives the impression of the wing buds. There you go. Then you can take away the excess. That's why you need at least a mil or so, a good mil at the head to tidy up. Again, just come in with your thread and always tidy up what you're doing. Now I'm going to take a couple of pheasant tail fibres. This is just a bit of, give the impression of the horns of the Caddis. Just visually it looks very good. You could use bronze mallard, or in this case I've just used pheasant tail. Catch one either side. Now at this point what I do is I bring over the scud back, just nice and light. Now I catch it more, right as close to the eye as possible, just about there, and get some more of your dubbing. Gives it a better head look. You don't have to do this, but it just looks nice. Just more of your dubbing on, not a lot, just enough. And then what I like to do is come up nice and tight, just come up maybe the head length, that mil or so, and then fold this back. Now don't worry about the pheasant tail, but either side, and 2 or 3 turns to hold. And then what I like to do is put some varnish onto my thread. And then come up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, which is plenty. Trim away my thread, trim away the pheasant tail, and trim away my thorax cover, just nice and neat. And then with my nail I'm going to curl these in, and there you go. And that there is my miniature Caddis. As you see the back of the nymph looks amazing. It certainly looks like the real thing, certainly worth tying.